Hello, my name is Peter Lee, and I'll be presenting on MoveOn.org. They are a nonprofit organization with a 501(c) status with an emphasis on education and political advocacy. Their mission statement is Move On is an issue-oriented, primary, nonpartisan organization giving people a voice in shaping the laws that affect their lives. Move On engages people in the civic process using digital tools to mobilize for a better society, one where everyone can live. Today, we'll be looking at their history, programs, donations, and controversy to evaluate MoveOn.org. How did they start? They started in 1998, not as a nonprofit, but a simple petitions website in response to 1998 controversy. This was Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. This controversy exploded within the news media and news outlets. For an average Democratic voter, this would irk them, such as Wes Boyd and Joanne Blades. This Californian couple created the website MoveOn.org. Surprisingly, it only costed $89.50. There was only one single tagline for people to give their signatures to the website. Quote, the Congress must immediately censor President Clinton and move on to pressing issues facing the country. How do they do? Well, they got 100,000 signatures within the first week. And within a month, they got 475,000 signatures. Bear in mind, this was a time of mail-to-mail and door-to-door representatives. They'll be lucky to get 100,000 signatures in a month. With this many signatures, they sent it to Congress, urging them to not impeach Clinton. Unfortunately, he was. Now you may be asking, what did they do afterwards? Well, they did nothing. For 2 whole years, they did absolutely nothing until George Soros, the billionaire philanthropist, came into the picture. They went to Wes Boyd, specifically asking, and quote, Mr. Soros quickly made it clear. He and another philanthropist, Peter B. Lewis, wanted to donate millions of dollars to MoveOn.org. Thus, the nonprofit was created in their first mission statement. Quote, punish those in office who have been in favor of continuing the impeachment process by directly supporting candidates who run against them in 2000. Translation-wise, this means supporting only Democratic candidates. Every single year to the present, they have not supported any Republicans or moderates. And just like the year 2000, this was the year of Bush v. Al Gore. Al Gore was a running Democratic nominee, and this was the most hair-splitting election of the year, of every time, anytime. Unfortunately, Bush won in Florida, and thus President Bush. Now you may be asking, how do they get donations at the website? Well, MoveOn.org created 2 organizations, Move On Civic Action and Move On Political Action. Civic Action is the nonprofit group. Political Action is the PAC, Political Action Committee. As a 501(c), they cannot give millions of dollars to candidates, but as a PAC, they can. Thus, George Soros donated $5 million to MoveOn.org, the PAC. And when that opened, so did regular donations. In that year, an amass of $13 million was collected. Now you may be asking, who is the current major donors? Well, in the years of 2017 to 2018, a commercial group called Asana donated $3 million. In 2015 to 2016, they did it again, but for $1.25 million. Now you may be asking, what does the nonprofit do? We already heard about what the PACs do, but what does the nonprofit do? They have 2 main things, petitions and campaigning. Let's look at the petition page. As you can see, there's coronavirus campaigning, funding to the WHO, and cancel student debt to stimulate the economy. The main goal, or the main butter about all this, is that regular citizens can just put their own petitions up here. Reopen state border of California offices. Open up bars and restaurants. There's a lot of petitions out here from regular citizens, and they go all the way up to 4,600 pages. That's quite a lot. Now you may be asking, what is America for All? America for All is a direct response to the Trump administration. Quote, millions of Move On members who live in each of the country's 3,000 counties will volunteer and donate to candidates, contact voters in key battleground states, drive creative and cultural intervention that inspire voter turnout, and work to protect the right to vote for those targeted by digital voter suppression online. Now, as a nonprofit, they do a lot of good stuff. However, they do have some controversies. They're probably anti-Afghan war. That's not such a bad thing in opinion, but they do have some controversy with what they did during this time period. There's a contest called Bush in 30 Seconds, where people would make advertisements in 30 seconds, make a submission, and they would vote for the best commercial. Unfortunately, one of the submissions was the most controversial thing I ever read and even saw. It was when Hitler was the main focus of the video, and he was transforming into Bush. The logic was that President Bush declared war, and thus the innocent people and whoever died during the war was his fault. Luckily, MoveOn.org handled this well. They said that this was not their case and that this was just a submission, not an official work. Unfortunately, they did publish General Betray Us. It was an advertisement page in the New York Times accusing David H. Petraeus of lying about the situation in Afghanistan and that both soldiers and citizens were being killed and that the surge strategy has failed. To this day, they have not apologized or acknowledged that this was not true. Now, with the controversy in mind, we're going to talk about the SWOT analysis. How would I rate them? Before I even get to any of these, I'll give them a B-, and I'll tell you why. Their weakness: unreliability and too many petitions. Unreliability in the sense that Clinton got impeached, Bush won the presidency, and the Afghanistan war lasted for 8 years. Their major goals has promptly failed or didn't go all the way through. Now, too many petitions is a double-edged sword. It's a weakness and strength. The weakness is that because there's so many petitions that's being submitted, the more important ones are being left out or not getting the attention they deserve. That goes into why it's a strength, though. It gives regular people a voice that they can give online. MoveOn.org as a website is another strength because as a website and a petition portal and a conversation group type of thing, they can give people a voice that otherwise they wouldn't be able to. Last time I checked, Instagram likes and upvotes from Reddit and other social media stuff isn't the same thing as giving your signature. Now, as for opportunities, they can pretty much do anything right now, but I would highly recommend them in addressing the COVID-19 progress. As a 501c with the education statement in mind, they can educate people about COVID-19 more. And as you saw before with the petitions, the number one signed petition was about COVID-19, but I urge them to do more. For threats, basically the entire Republican Party. The Trump party, the Trump cabinet, everything, really. Everything is pretty much a threat to them except for their Democratic colleagues and friends. What I do highly recommend for them is to watch out. Thank you for your time.